Luis de la Fuente has rolled the dice on Spain's World Cup destiny, and the fallout will reverberate across international football all summer. An opening day matchup against Cape Verde was supposed to be a routine introduction to the group stage for the reigning European champions. Metrics-wise, Spain did exactly what everyone expected. They held 74% possession, pinned their opponents deep, registered 27 shots, and forced save after save. Yet, the scoreboard read a blank, devastating 0-0. Mainstream media blamed a lack of clinical finishing or an inspired underdog goalkeeper. But look directly at the film room data, and a far more alarming tactical crisis becomes clear. Spain completely lacked a creative engine. Their possession was slow, predictable, and trapped in horizontal sequences across a highly organized low block. Without a direct threat capable of destroying structured lines in 1v1 scenarios, La Roja looked like an elite passing machine that had forgotten how to penetrate. Enter the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Facing a disciplined Saudi Arabia squad that had already proven its defensive credentials in a draw against Uruguay, de la Fuente knew he couldn't afford another sluggish, sideways display. The margin for error in Group H had vanished. With all four teams deadlocked on a single point, a second failure would push the tournament favorites to the brink of a catastrophic, premature exit. The solution required a massive tactical gamble. The manager threw caution to the wind. Despite immense medical anxiety surrounding a recovering hamstring injury, 18-year-old superstar Lamine Yamal was thrust directly into the starting 11. Rushing a player of his astronomical value back into a maximum-pressure World Cup environment after a soft-tissue injury is a move born out of pure tactical necessity. To understand why Yamal's presence on the right flank is a structural requirement, look at how opponents systematically stop Spain's baseline system. Under previous blueprints, Spain operated within a rigid 4-3-3 relying on positional dominance. Midfielders formed a progressive triangle, while wide attackers hugged the touchlines to create horizontal width. Against a modern low block, this structural rigidity becomes its own worst enemy. Cape Verde set up in a hyper-compact shape and completely ignored the wide areas, allowing Spain's fullbacks all the time they wanted on the periphery. Instead, they choked off the central passing lanes into creators like Pedri and Dani Olmo. This creative suffocation forced Spain into a frustrating loop. The ball would move from center-backs to central midfielders, out wide to the winger, and, facing an aggressive double team, all the way back across the defensive line. It was structural possession without penetration. Spain accumulated over 700 passes, yet less than 4% ever entered the high-value zone in front of the 6-yard box. Without someone to physically pull a defender out of position, the opposition low block never broke shape. The tactical reality of what occurred the second Lamine Yamal stepped onto the pitch in Atlanta can be described as a total warping of spatial geometry. Against a standard winger, instructions are simple: hold the line and keep the attacker on the outside. But against Yamal, standard tracking falls apart against his world-class deceleration and vision. By his mere physical presence, Yamal neutralized two defensive players simultaneously without even touching the ball. The real magic happens when the ball transitions to Yamal's feet. Because his natural instinct is to take his first touch with his left foot, tilting his body shape inward, he creates an immediate dilemma. If central midfielders stay compact, Yamal has an unobstructed lane to unleash an inside curling shot or a chipped cross. If a midfielder steps up to pressure him, the mid-block is instantly broken. A gaping vertical hole appears right in the heart of the defense, the exact half-space corridor where elite playmakers thrive. This structural warping completely unlocked Spain's creative core. Contrast this strategic evolution with the tactical revelations we witnessed 48 hours ago in Seattle, where Mauricio Pochettino executed a masterclass with the United States national team against Australia. Modern tournament football is entirely a game of structural flexibility. Pochettino proved that when your primary superstar is sidelined, you cannot simply plug in a direct replacement. You have to actively alter the underlying blueprint, Pochettino utilized a highly fluid, vertically staggered double pivot system that dragged Australia's mid-block out of position, transforming the USMNT into a highly efficient central overloading machine. Luis de la Fuente is facing a similar structural challenge, but his solution is the exact inverse. While the United States used central staggering to open up the channels, Spain is using elite wide isolation via Lamine Yamal to open up the interior pockets of the pitch. This comparative analysis reveals a fascinating shift. The era of a coach forcing a national team to play one rigid style across a 7-game tournament run is officially dead. Enter a knockout bracket with only a plan A, and you are statistically guaranteed to be eliminated. The United States showed they could survive by restructuring their midfield shape. Spain is showing that they can transition from a slow, possession-heavy unit into a lethal, space-exploiting powerhouse simply by introducing a singular, highly specialized wide outlet. The analytical takeaway for the Kickoff verdict community is profound. Stop looking solely at where the ball is currently traveling. Start looking at what the players off the ball are being forced to do in response to a specific individual's positioning. If you are enjoying this high-level masterclass breakdown, make sure to smash that like button right now and help push this content to football minds all across the globe. While the advantages of starting Yamal are undeniable, we must look critically at the immense physical risks. A hamstring injury for an explosive winger is one of the most volatile medical scenarios a training staff can manage. Rushing a player back before the muscle fibers have fully repaired is a massive gamble that could easily lead to an immediate re-injury. If Yamal suffers a secondary tear, his tournament is completely over, sparking an intense club versus country political war with Barcelona. De la Fuente must manage this situation with absolute precision, structuring Yamal's utilization around high-efficiency micro-windows. The ideal strategy relies on clear parameters. Utilize Yamal from the starting whistle to establish immediate structural control. Let his gravity pull the opposition apart, allow the midfield to establish a comfortable lead, and the absolute second the competitive game state is secured, remove him from the pitch. Do not leave him out there to chase statistical padding in the 75th minute when the opposition is fatigued and prone to making reckless, late tackles born out of frustration. This delicate balance is what separates tournament-winning managers from ordinary tactical coaches. If Spain manages Yamal's minutes correctly, keeping him fresh for the high-intensity environments of the knockout rounds, they possess a tactical weapon that no other nation can naturally counter. But if they miscalculate his recovery curve, the entire structural blueprint of La Roja could collapse like a house of cards. Now, I want to see the real tactical minds absolutely ignite the comments section today. Now that you have seen the profound structural impact of Lamine Yamal's return, how should Luis de la Fuente manage his minutes moving forward? Do you risk starting him again in the final group stage fixture, or do you immediately wrap him in cotton wool until the knockout rounds begin? Give me your definitive starting lineups, your medical management strategies, and your bold knockout stage bracket predictions in the comments below. If you want to continue elevating your football intelligence throughout this historic World Cup run, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Click subscribe, join the Kickoff Verdict family, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a daily verdict. Thank you for watching, stand tall, keep analyzing the game tape, and I will see you right here tomorrow for the next definitive tactical verdict.